Good morning and good to have you with us in this special coverage this Sunday on Mirror Now. Special coverage not of the election counting results, though the numbers will continue to be on your screen, but special coverage of the story that really matters to you and me. The worst health crisis in our country right now, the COVID catastrophe. Right now, I want to focus on the serious discrepancies in the number of deaths that are being reported by states and the number of actual casualties that may be happening due to COVID. A lot of this emerges when you look at the state of our crematoriums and the numbers being registered at our crematoriums, whether it's in Karnataka, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, or even the national capital. And let me take you some of those details. In Delhi, for example, between April 18 and 24, the data of 26 crematoriums shows 3,096 deaths. But the Delhi government's official figures stand at 1,938. That's a gap of 1,158 deaths right there that needs to be looked into. Bengaluru, again, for example, if you look at the data of the crematoriums from March 1 to April 26, 3,100 deaths. But what is it that the government's official statistics say? 1,422. That's 1,682 deaths unaccounted. Half, essentially, in both these examples, half of what is being shown on one side is being reported by the state. In Bhopal, between April 16th and 20th, data of 3 crematoriums showed 597 deaths, but the state only accounted 348. 249 was the mismatch there. In Gujarat, again, reports coming in from 7 different cities with the death toll at one point stood at 689, but the state government said 78 people had died that day in the state. Over 600 deaths unaccounted. Chandigarh, same story. 70 by crematoriums, government data says 42. Haryana, also similar instances now emerging. Now, why am I telling you this? The point of my telling you this is not just to say, is there an attempt by the states to suppress the numbers? The states may be suppressing the numbers because they don't want to acknowledge the reality and see just how bad the situation is, admit their own failures. The states may actually be just looking at one side of the story and not the other side, only recording the deaths in hospitals where they have confirmed COVID positive reports. If you don't have a report, your report is yet to come, or you died outside the hospital, waiting for a hospital bed, waiting for an oxygen bed, or at your home, maybe the government's not counting that. But wherever we've seen this, we have seen that almost half, 40% to 50%, is not getting counted. So when I tell you that nearly 50,000 people died in the month of April, that's as per the state records, the official records. Now imagine if these are not the real numbers and we're looking only half of what it is, where does that take that death toll? Then imagine what's going on in the smaller towns, outside the key cities, where the situation now is going from bad to worse. Hospitals are flooded. People are now just waiting outside on the streets, under trees, or at their own homes. What is the real death count? What is India losing to in terms of numbers to COVID? Maybe we'll never know. The Madhya Pradesh High Court sought a response from the state on the data mismatch. The Telangana High Court said, put display boards on crematoriums telling us the real picture. People need to see the grim reality. The Allahabad High Court said, report all death data to the judicial officer every day. The courts are concerned. I don't know if the governments will be. Let me also say good morning to the panelists who are joining us in this special conversation. We will continue to bring you even the most latest in the updated news. But I say good morning to Ajay Umad, Group Editor of Ahmed Mirror and Nav Gujarat Samay, and Kumaran Prabhakar, journalist, also joining us this morning. Ajay, let's start with you. Gujarat was actually one of the first states where we saw this become a big issue. And even now, there is enough stress on the system, whether it's healthcare infrastructure, beds, oxygen, drugs not being available, and 20-hour, 30-hour wait at crematoriums?
Right, Tanvi. Government machinery, particularly administration, has failed to provide, from ventilator to vaccination on all fronts, and as you have rightly said and observed by many high courts, including Gujarat High Court, the High Court has told virtually in, to Advocate General and to government officers that, we don't trust your figures. You are painting a very rosy picture, but ground reality is otherwise. So even High Court is not willing to believe their affidavits, which government officers are filing, and they say that you please check your facts. The fact is that, before 10 to 12 days, Home Minister, Minister Amit Shah, whose constituency is Gandhinagar, he has opened inaugurated DRDO hospital with 900 beds. But as on today, on this Sunday morning, I am telling you, not more than 300 patients could be admitted in that hospital, and so many patients died just opposite to that gate of the DRDO hospital, in front of civil hospital, in front of SVP hospitals. As on today, government's official communication says that there is not a single ventilator bed available in any Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation hospital, nor in civil hospital, nor in any other hospital. We don't get oxygen bed, we don't get remdesivir injections, we don't get even Tamiflu. Tablets like Tamiflu are, not available in the market. You have to go to 5 to 6 shops to get such these things, and so many bogus and fake remdesivir injections are available in market. Police has caught some of them also. The point I am saying is that, on one side this is the grim scenario, and on the other side government is hiding figures about death toll. And in most of the cases, in the name of ICMR guidelines, they say that because as per ICMR guideline, the patient was having, comorbidity, he was suffering from and so we will not count that death as per protocol of COVID death, and so they are hiding figures. I fail to understand why there is no transparency, accountability, and showing the real numbers. On one side, if you say that only 78 people died in Gujarat because of corona, then why, chimneys are melting in Bharuch, in Surat, in Baroda, in Ahmedabad, and in Rajkot, and why you are having to, why should you start, extra crematorium facilities in Ahmedabad, in Surat, in Rajkot, and all such places? So government is, hiding something behind carpet, and which is not a good scenario in Gujarat, which is considered to be a Gujarat BJP model.
Yes. Well, many questions are being asked of that model, but right now all the models seem to be failing, and that seems to be the truth as well. Let me actually also bring in our second panelist, Mr. Prabhakaran here, and this is the same story even from the data we looked at for BBMP, the Bengaluru civic body, and it seems between different departments there are different numbers, and the gap is very, very huge. Now, what is the explanation there? Kumaran, I think you're on mute. You'll have to unmute yourself.
So you can hear me, Tanvi?
Yes, I can now.
Yeah. So basically what happens with the data with the death tolls in Bangalore is different departments having different data. It's because Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagarapalikhe, the BBMP, is one sole body that accounts all deaths, even if it is COVID, non-COVID, because they are the authority to give a death certificate at the end of the day. Even if you bury a patient or cremate a patient, they are the one who give it. So what happens with the health department bulletin is they are accounting for the deaths that's happening in the hospital. So if there is a COVID death in the hospital and the hospital updates the data, so even updating the data will take time for the hospitals in the bulletins, because the hospital have to inform the MOH, and the MOH has to take it up to the health department, and then it gets accounted. So what happens with the COVID death is that, and what we see in the health bulletins every day is the deaths that is being taken place only in the hospitals, and that has been accounted. So if you look at the ground reality in the numbers, like for example, take Harishchandra Ghat in near Rajajinagar, that at least the day before yesterday took 60 bodies that are non-COVID. TR Mills is another place that took another 60 bodies. And there's another place, Kalpalli crematorium, including the burial, took 25. So if we look at these numbers, non-COVID itself, 60, 60, and 25, and that doesn't even match with the bulletin that comes in the health department, the death rates. So what happens is there are patients who on the way to the hospital they die. There are patients who at home they die and they don't get accounted for. For example, I came to know about a person last evening that the person had tested COVID positive, was getting treatment from a physician and everything. He was just at home all alone, and then he passed away due to a heart attack. So what happens now? This person will not be taken to the hospital again, do a COVID test. So this person will be called up with the BBMP. The help will come from the ambulance guys, and they will just take this body, and then they will go for a non-COVID cremation. So what happens? So basically, this is a COVID death, but it is at home, so it goes as a non-COVID. So basically, there's no infrastructure to test the anyone who's dying. You cannot test because this policy was changed by the ICMR and the health department, because testing again will take time, and again until the results come, you cannot go and cremate the body.
Okay.
So there are queues. So what happens now, even in the so many crematoriums that's happening across the Bangalore, so there are queues. They are waiting for 6 hours, 8 hours. Say, for example, our Mercy Mission volunteers and ERT volunteers who are actually going with their ambulances, and they're waiting for 6 hours for one body. So there is no place to keep it there, and then the officials are now arranging for some freezer boxes. Meanwhile, what's happening is that not just these crematoriums, now the government and the BBMP has decided to open up 23 open crematoriums in Bangalore. So imagine the amount of expected number of deaths that we are going to see in the next 10 days.
Look at the sad part of it, Kumaran. We didn't build the hospitals when we had to. We are now building crematoriums.
We're building crematoriums.
That's really sad. Telling the story. And I can also bring really in Vinay on this. You know, Vinay, Kumaran and both Ajay were explaining to us why a lot of this mismatch is happening. And while, you know, statistically we can say that it's because the states are not counting people dying in hospitals, and only those and not those outside the hospitals. Those outside the hospitals are a reflection of the fact that we are not able to save them, that we are not able to give them bed, we are not the hospitals. Those outside the hospitals are a reflection of the fact that we are not able to save them, that we are not able to give them bed, we are not able to give them a drug, we are not able to give them a space to be treated, which is why they're dying outside.
Absolutely. And I mean, look, if any person in authority is frankly caring enough to hear what we are saying, I think we should implore them to stop trying to hide death, because it just doesn't serve the purpose. Families, you can't hide death in families, you can't hide death in your friend circles, you cannot hide deaths in your neighborhood. Everybody gets to know it any which way. But by constantly trying to hide it, you're only lowering the trust, whatever is left between the citizens and the government, even further. You cannot have an electorate or even a citizenry that will trust the government if the government just blindly keeps denying or getting caught in technicalities in reporting people who are dying. You can't hide that. You know, in a mohalla, in a colony, in a village, or in a mufassil tehsil, if 10 people have died, everybody gets to know that. And I just do not understand why governments are making so much of effort to hide behind technicalities to try and hide how many people have died. In India, death is a very, you know, it has a very different meaning altogether. These are not things that are personal. If the whole society, mohalla, community gets in together, they participate in each other's grief, moments of grief, just like they participate in moments of happiness. And I'm afraid by this very obnoxious, constant attempt to hide behind technical details or not registering deaths, even when we know very well that they're COVID-related deaths, whatever trust is left between the people and the government gets completely destroyed. And that has very devastating effects going forward, because you will simply stop trusting governments, and that's not a good thing. Yeah. In a democracy, people should have some faith in the system and the administration. Admitting it is first step. And then, of course, the superhuman effort you need right now to control it. So I honestly implore state governments to not hide these things. It just doesn't solve anything. Message goes out, people get to know, the world gets to see what you're doing, and the international press, the media, everybody else just loses faith in how the systems are reporting anything in this country.
In fact, Ajay, because this was raised by the High Court many days ago in Gujarat, has there been any attempt by the authorities to try and rectify, correct, consolidate the numbers? Surely by now they would know that one look at the crematoriums and the truth is for everybody to see.
No, I think despite High Court's observations and almost strictures that they have passed against state government, the bureaucracy in state, though politicians are afraid, many MLAs and MPs are writing letter to Chief Minister and to Home Minister and Prime Minister, but bureaucracy is not buzzing an inch. On the contrary, they are still continue to hide figures. Yesterday in Bharuch, 16 people died because of fire that took place in ICU. 16 COVID patients died at early morning. Unfortunately, they are starting so many hospitals without giving proper fire safety measures, without having equipment. They are pressurizing industrial houses like Adani's, Ambani's, SR. Yesterday, SR was asked to start a COVID care center in Dwarka. Reliance was asked to start in Jamnagar, Adani in Kutch and in Ahmedabad. They are asking everybody to start this thing. And almost 15 more crematoriums started. Open crematorium has started in Gujarat. But they are still not increasing numbers, and there is no transparency as far as death toll is concerned. On the contrary, in Ahmedabad, Baroda, Surat, Rajkot, Jamnagar, Bhavnagar, Gandhinagar, if you want to procure a death certificate, it will take minimum 10 to 15 days. Just imagine. And there is a big queue opposite, Corporation Civic Center offices to get death certificates, because, everybody wants death certificate and to claim their insurance. But, they are not getting even death certificates in time for 15 days. Earlier, there was a system that you just walk in or you get those things downloaded on your computer system. The whole system collapsed in Gujarat. That is the irony. And if you just go to any civil hospital, you will find a queue of almost 50 to 55 ambulances at any given point of time. And on the backyard of all the hospitals, almost 70 to 80, ambulances to take dead bodies. And there is a waiting list for 8 to 12 hours.
Yes.
So that is the reality. But, still government officers are not giving right figures.
Yes, I mean, imagine the state when you have to create 15 more open crematoriums, but your death toll is actually not changing. Who are you kidding? And do you really think people are going to believe this? Everybody in Gujarat today has either a story from their family or somebody that they know in their very close circles that shows the reality. 10 hours of waiting, at the crematoriums, wait for an ambulance, wait for every single thing. That's the truth. That's the reality. Thank you so much to Ajay and to Kumar for joining us on this. Vinay, before I bring in